All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
What was that ruckus? What ruckus? I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Describe the ruckus, sir.
Does this mean we're not friends anymore? I'm in my prime.
You're out of your mind. Ain't it cool?
First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Blow. Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
What's up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on the Meltdown Radio Podcast, doing another top 10, doing my top 10 Marvel films. This idea was spawned by Kevin Lambert at Entertainment Headquarters. He had done a top 10 a week or so ago. And I thought, wow, that's a really good idea because I've never really kind of pondered it. I've had my favorites over the years. Obviously, I've also had some frustration with Disney and Marvel in general, like some of the other products they put out there, whether or not it's becoming too saturated. But I thought it was a great idea. Now, as I've told people before, I'm not like the biggest comic book nerd. So my more familiarity with Marvel is with the movies themselves. Like I knew certain characters because you don't go without knowing who Wolverine is or Iron Man or Thor, stuff like that. So those are like household names. So I was familiar with the characters a little bit, but not much knowledge of the comics themselves. So I know that whenever you do top tens or best ofs, like it's always subjective because some people really who are big time comic book people have expectations whenever these films are put together, and sometimes they live up to them, sometimes they don't. Now, for the average Joe, such as myself, we can pretty much jump into the Marvel universe and kind of be delighted, or you see them as popcorn movies. Whereas, someone like Lady Fat Blood and Samurai Guy, they watch Captain Marvel and they call it Captain Mistake. So they might approach it a lot differently than I would. Even though I do have my problems with certain films overall. But I think it was a good idea to try to do my top 10 because there was a bunch of films that I really enjoyed from the Marvel Universe. And some that I thought once I put my top 10 together, like I was kind of surprised that some of the other films I really like aren't in there. And some of the runner-ups are like both of the Black Panther films are very good. I like them both. I actually liked Wakanda Forever, which ended up winning the top spot in my top 10 movies of the year in 2022. So surprisingly, it's not in my top 10. So even as much as I like both those films, neither one are in my top 10. That just shows you how much material Marvel has as far as film products. The original Captain America didn't make it in there. I do like Captain America. Some people really don't. And Thunderbolts, which I plan to go see on Friday if I've got the time. I hear some good things about it, but I'm not really sure. I'm a little wary, of course, but it's kind of like the Marvel version of Suicide Squad. So we're getting a lot of our villains and anti-heroes to team up and become heroes, basically. So I've heard a few good things about it, so I'm hoping to go see it and hope that it turns out, because it does have a character that I really, really like in that particular movie. I did watch Kevin Lambert's top 10. I was a little surprised by some of where he ranks certain things, and but again, subjective. And so people are going to look at my list and say, "Dude, you're fucking out of your mind." But no, it's for me. It all comes down to the really simplicity of entertainment value, rewatchability. Does it tug at the emotional heartstrings? Like, it's all that for me with these films. And I'll be honest, I can't take it from a comic book standpoint because I've never read the comic books. Like, I know of them, but I just never read them. So I understand when people have gripes that they want certain things. This is the same thing that happened with the Harry Potter franchise. I only know the movies. I never read the books. I was aware of the books because I was working in the bookstore when that fucking madhouse, all the moms come in there saying, "You have this Harry Potter book? You have this?" I'm like, no, we sold out of that. People are buying this shit up like fucking money. And so, but you would hear the gripes about the movies from book fans who were like, "Oh, this isn't what happened in the book," or they should have added this, and this. So I get it. Because much like that, like when it comes to Stephen King's It, the book is way better than both film adaptations. And so it's how it is sometimes. So sometimes a book can kind of ruin your movie experience, because if you're familiar with the book and you love the book and then you see the movie and you're like, "What the fuck am I watching?" I get it. However, for me, myself, I can only go by the movies, and so that's how I'm basically ranking these for enjoyability, etc. This number 10 is really, it surprises me how much people hate this film. And I don't know, like every time I hear people discuss this particular trilogy of films, this one gets lumped in with like one of the worst. And I don't know why, because I really actually enjoy it a little bit more than the other two. I definitely enjoy it more than 3, but the first one, it's pretty close. But that would be Iron Man 2. I love everything about this film. I like the setup between Stark and Pepper Potts, and then of course War Machine, which is a new character kind of introduced to me through this. Whiplash, I thought Rourke did a good job. I mean, I'm sure people went into this thinking that, they envisioned Whiplash as somebody else, or the weapon wasn't quite where it should have been in terms of, maybe a different design than what was actually happening. Maybe the storyline is different. But again, I thought Rourke did a very good job in this. But the real standout of Iron Man 2 is Sam Rockwell playing Justin Hammer. That dude is an amazing actor. I've seen him in a few different things. He's very versatile, but he is great as Justin Hammer. And if you needed that like comedic backdrop along with Stark, who does a lot of, like hemorrhoid, his quote about hemorrhoids when they're being attacked by the AI bots. And that's the thing, like just Sam Rockwell is just a genius in terms of an actor, and I really enjoyed him a lot in this. So really based upon that alone, he makes it into my list at number 10 with Iron Man 2. And here's the trailer for that.
Could we pick up now where we left off? Mr. Stark, please.
Yes, dear.
Could I have your attention?
Absolutely.
Our priority here is to have you turn over the Iron Man weapon to the American people.
Well, you can forget it.
We're safe. America is secure. You want my property? You can't have it. But I did you a big favor.
I have successfully privatized world peace.
We're adjourned for the day. You've been a delight.
Okay, give me a smooch for good luck. I might not make it back.
Go get him, boss.
You complete me.
Oh, it's good to be back.
You come from a family of thieves and butchers. And now, like all guilty men, you try to rewrite your own history. And you forget all the lives the Stark family has destroyed. There will be blood in the water, and the sharks will come.
There you go. Yeah. So again, very entertaining movie for me. I love it. Everything about it. Some people really, really hate it, but it is what it is. Again, subjective. But feel free to tell me your reasons why you don't like it, or if you do like it. Let me know. Number 9. I was kind of surprised when I found out that the other 2 movies in this trilogy weren't included in the Marvel universe, and maybe some of you that are very diehard into this stuff can explain to me why. And the only reason I can come up with is that the first 2 movies didn't specifically reference any other part of the Marvel universe, and maybe that's why. So maybe that's the confirmation, or you can just let me know if there's another reason. But number 9, this actually one of my favorite films from 2024. Is of course Deadpool and Wolverine. Great film. I think a lot of people were waiting for this to happen because obviously from the first Deadpool film, where Reynolds Deadpool was mocking Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. They have a friendship in real life, and of course, obviously, if you ever saw The Amazing Logan by chance. Which probably could have made my list as well, even though it's like a separate property, but I'm sticking mainly to the universe itself. But Logan was amazing, but that's where we kind of saw the end of Wolverine in that universe. So when it came time for this film, obviously Deadpool is being introduced to TVA, which was introduced through the Loki TV series on Disney Plus, where we learn about all this other stuff and the multiverse, basically. And so Deadpool, in order to kind of save his own time, his own timeline, needs help, and he's going to recruit Wolverine, but he's got to get a different one to do it, one that's kind of beaten down and just struggling with inner turmoil. So here is, and the thing about this film is like so fucking much hilarity in it, and a lot of cameos in it were great. So yeah, let's check out the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
Life is a
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
Boys are so silly.
This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even force bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes! But I can't.
Oh my god, it's still funny even now. I can't get over it. But to number 8, we take a different direction. Now, there's always a little bit of comedy in these particular trilogy of movies, but the third act was a lot different than the two previous, and people vary in this one too. But although most people don't really like the second one, most really love the first one. I did like the first one, obviously, but certain parts of the second one were fun. But the third one, man, it hits a lot different, very much stronger. It was another one that was one of my favorites of 2024, and but it tugs more at the heartstrings than it does with the comedy funny bone. So at number 8, we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And this deals mainly with the story about Rocket, the raccoon, and his backstory to how he came to be. And, at the same time, like, I'm going to make sure I have my... Sorry, I had to make sure I have my trailer ready because, yeah, I think we're good. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so we're dealing with Rocket and his backstory, and a lot of turmoil, even with Star-Lord, played by Christopher Pratt, and there's things that change. Obviously, you have to watch the entire universe to understand everything that's going on at this point, because the Gamora that they're traveling with isn't the same one that was in the first 2 films. So I won't give too much away for those that haven't seen it, but nevertheless, there's a lot of different things going on between the dynamics of the characters. And obviously, again, Rocket is our main focus here. And it's, the thing is, like, when you love animals, cats, dogs, like rat, these are CGI animals that we're looking at, but the way that it's written and the emotions, this is the wonderful thing about CGI, and we talk about a lot with the kaiju films, how the Legendary is able to bring to life the monsters that we see. Well, this is similar in this aspect with animals that, they can look horrific and deformed, but yet the mannerisms and the way that they carry themselves is still very much a touching thing. So I know that Neko and I did not leave dry-eyed from this film when we saw it in theaters. So here is the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians.
Hello, we come in peace.
Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude?
No! Ow!
Don't forget, where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives.
Pete, I'm done running. We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the forever. That beautiful sky.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
Batista was really great as Drax, no doubt about it. And always the soundtrack for those films are great. I love myself some good rock and roll. So I'm very happy with that. Again, that movie is a nice, sentimental, touch to the heart type of film, different than most of your Marvel stuff outside maybe Endgame, but certainly a movie worth checking out if you haven't before. And speaking of Endgame, we now end up at number 7. Most people would find this one be up way higher, which, it doesn't hurt my feelings because really the end game for Avengers was like really the what do you call it? The creme de la creme topping of the first phase of Marvel's universe. And really some people said it should have just ended there because of, how it all ended. It was like just big moments, everything with going on, even the big Captain America and the arrival of everyone coming back after Infinity War and them disappearing. So the big Thanos moment, of course. And so, again, this one does have still some more heartstrings, touching stuff. We get that sacrifice by Tony Stark / Iron Man. And basically, it's just a really great film. So at number 7, of course, Avengers Endgame comes in for me there. Definitely one of my favorites, as they all are. It's top 10, obviously, but just not ranking quite higher than some of the other ones I have there. So here is Avengers Endgame.
This thing on? Hey, Miss Potts. If you find this recording, don't feel bad about this. Part of the journey is the end. Just for the record, being adrift in space with zero promise of rescue is more fun than it sounds. Food and water ran out 4 days ago. Oxygen will run out tomorrow morning. That'll be it. When I drift off, I will dream about you. It's always you.
Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
We lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of ourselves. This is the fight of our lives.
This is going to work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
is Scott Lang. We met a few years ago at the airport in Germany. Got out really big.
Is this an old message?
Ant-Man, I know you know that.
It's the front door.
That's me. Can you buzz me in?
Yeah, great film. I don't think any top 10 would not even have that one in there somewhere. You know what I mean? So, all right, down to number 6, and basically going right where it all started, really. Even though you could argue it started like a little bit earlier with Hulk, but for me and for most people, it starts with, of course, the original Iron Man. Kicking it all off, Tony Stark and the tie-ins, and yeah, fun movie. Gives us the background a little bit of Tony Stark, how he became to be, his first suit design, after he got attacked by terrorists and imprisoned by them, then became his own thing, got a better suit made, and obviously the plot and story to that, but fun movie. Great way to kick off the universe, really, because I think even though Hulk really was the one that did it, it wasn't really the best opening compared to Iron Man. And so here is the trailer for Iron Man.
No one's allowed to talk, is that it? You can't talk?
No, you intimidate them.
Good God, you're a woman.
Is it better to be feared or respected? And I say, is it too much to ask for both? I humbly present the Jericho. To peace.
Tony Stark. Now you work for me.
What are you building, Stark?
Your eyes are red. Few tears for your long-lost boss?
Tears of joy. I hate job hunting.
Yeah, vacation's over.
Welcome home, sir.
Put up the scanner, will you?
What happened over there?
I have my eyes open. I want to protect the people I put in harm's way.
A man with a dozen of these can rule all of Asia.
Yeah, I can fly.
Let's see if this dog can hunt. So the upgrade is complete.
Tell you what, throw a little hot rod red in there. Damn. Good luck keeping up.
What's going on here?
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing. There's been speculation that I'm parading around as a superhero. I'm just not the hero type, clearly.
All right. And there you have it. Iron Man. Now down to number 5. Again, this is a bit of a polarizing movie. Maybe not as much as the second one or the fourth one of this particular series. But a lot of people thought it was a little bit too simple, not a little bit thought-provoking. But for me, again, this is kind of like Iron Man for me. This is a very fun movie, fun opening to a particular character. It's just a lot of fun. It's goofy. It's maybe not as good as another one that is going to be in the list, but this one for sure was still a lot of fun. Like, has a high rewatchability for me, and it's got to be, of course, Thor. We get introduced to Loki, his brother, the back history there, and Odin, of course, by the great Anthony Hopkins. The film is just amazing. I have a lot of fun with this all the time. I mean, you could love or hate the love story between him and Natalie Portman's character, but the reality is, like, you know, it's something that keeps driving along, and it does become the downfall of Love and Thunder, unfortunately. But and that's just from like a viewer standpoint for me. So for those that are comic fans, maybe you can tell me how it differs in the comics versus what we saw on screen, because a lot of the complaints, which I agree with, is that you had Christian Bale playing the God Killer, and instead of kind of like making Love and Thunder a little more darker in that sense, and a little bit more about the war between God Killer and Thor, we kind of made it more about her character and dealing with her illness, which does play a factor towards the end. But it's just pretty crazy, though, that you know, it went that way with that film. It did a lot of things that it probably shouldn't have focused on, like the kids and stuff, which was really bizarre. But either way, this film, the first one to kick it off, is a lot of fun. It doesn't really do any of that. It just sticks to the game plan. The vet's pretty close, but it has a lot of fun doing it. And so here we are with the trailer for Thor.
It's not easy to do what you did. You made my men look like a bunch of minimum wage mall cops. That's hurtful. Would you like to tell me where you received your training? Afghanistan? Chechnya? Who are you?
I have sacrificed much to achieve peace. For through your arrogance and stupidity, you have opened these peaceful realms and innocent lives to the horror and devastation of war. You are a vain, greedy, cruel boy. You are an old man and a fool! You're unworthy! Father. I now take from you your power! And I cast you out!
Please open your eyes.
Oh, no, this is Earth, isn't it?
Where he comes from?
Your ancestors called it magic. You call it science. I come from a place where they're one and the same.
He has disobeyed his king. His fate is in his own hands now.
I will end this.
You have it. Thor. Now, coming in at number 4 is another one from the same series, but this time we have Thor Ragnarok, which is the third one. And interestingly enough, you know, you listen to Odin in that trailer for Thor, and, you know, you hear about how, you know, you're unworthy and I cast you out. But it tells you just how much, if you follow this universe with the Marvel and everything, it tells you just how much Odin was forward thinking with his son, and both sons in a general sense. But he knew that Thor would kind of regain himself and learn. And so that's by the time we get to Ragnarok and there's this discussion between Odin and Loki and Thor, you know, he tells him, like, you know, you're not the the god of hammers, you're the god of thunder. And so the funny when he's taking the hammer away in that first trailer, it's like, I take away your power. But he's not really taking away his power. He just makes him thinks he's taking away his power. But yeah, so obviously one thing about Ragnarok that really excited me when I saw the trailer the first time when it was getting released was the fact that you have through the Avengers, the first Avengers film, where like, you know, Thor and Hulk have like this batting of heads because who's the most strongest one and whatnot. So when Ragnarok came around, this was basically where we got to see them pitted against each other. But the comedy is fun in this too, and it's also got some serious moments as well. And it's a really fun movie, and it's weird because I forget how to pronounce the guy's name, the director, Takahiti or whatever it was. He was in What We Do in the Shadows movie, but he did so well with this film that when it came to Love and Thunder, I'm like, what happened? Did you like trip and the script fell in the hands of Scooby-Doo, or what happened here that, you know, you went from making a really good piece of film with Ragnarok and then just foobarred it on the next one, and it just makes no sense. And then again, I don't know if it's pressure from higher ups that they wanted certain things out of that. I don't know. It could be. You know, with Disney, you never know. They tend to trip over their own selves all the time with these films, but sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. One thing about Deadpool and Wolverine is that Reynolds wasn't allowing Disney to write the script for him. That was going to be his movie. That's why it succeeded. It got back to what everybody likes about filmmaking, about fun and entertainment. But that's what Ragnarok is. It's still a piece of great entertainment. It hadn't fallen by the wayside, even though Dark World, the second Thor film, like was okay. It just didn't have anything that was fun or even interesting, really, for the most part. It just was kind of like there, just a gap filler, basically. But Ragnarok kind of brought everything back up to the point that it was fun again. And so now here's the trailer for Thor Ragnarok.
Now I know what you're thinking. How did this happen? Well, it's a long story.
Is dead.
Hi there. What have you brought today? Tell me.
A contender.
It's main event time. And now, I give you your incredible...
Yes! We know each other. He's a friend from work. Oh, come on.
Yeah. Fun fucking movie. Fun movie. And speaking of fun movies, it brings us to number 3. After I'd seen like Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, like, again, I had no idea when Thor came out or when Iron Man first came out or even the Hulk film that it was going to turn into this big Marvel Universe thing. And again, not having any real background in comic books, when they did the trailer for this film, I lost my shit. And so did Neko, because Neko actually knows more about the comic books than I do. But when they did the trailer for this, we both were like, this looks fucking fantastic. And of course, I'm talking about the first Avengers film. When we get to see a lot of these characters come together, even after we get Black Widow, introduce Black Widow, Hawk, it was a lot of fun to see after these other movies that you got all these characters together fighting with each other with each other to help defeat Loki in the first Avengers film. It was just a really fun film. I think Neko and I actually went to the drive-in twice that year to watch it. It was just so good. We just had so much fun with that film in general. So like never disappointed with it. And turned out very great. I really enjoyed it all the way to the end. Again, at the time they knew how to mix in action, the comedy, even some of the sadness or the little quirks and quips that they have. So obviously I can't really explain myself as much as I would like to, but obviously if you're a fan of these films, you kind of get what I'm saying. It's just very good popcorn films that are very entertaining. So let's check out the trailer for The Avengers.
You were made to be ruled. In the end, it will be every man for himself.
What do we do?
We get ready. There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people. So when we needed them, they could fight the battles that we never could. Gentlemen, what are you prepared to do?
No offense, but I don't play well with others.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that away. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. If we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it. Dr. Banner, your work is unparalleled, and I'm a huge fan of the way you lose control and turn into an enormous green rage monster.
Thanks.
Yep. And so you go from working together to save the planet to the point to where you start fighting with one another. And I was kind of surprised, again, not being a big comic book guy, when this film came out at number 2, pitting the Avengers against one another. And it's pretty crazy. I love the backstory to it, obviously, why it transpires and how it plays out, the sides that people choose. In fact, one of the big things about it also is the Wachovia Accords from Ultron. Like you have to watch the movie series to kind of figure out why certain things are being mentioned or whatever. But I like that dynamic there too, because one thing that sort of was weird and about this movie was that Stark was traditionally anti-government in terms of like wanting to be controlled by government. By the time this movie came around, Captain America: Civil War, Tony had to kind of change a heart. He felt like they should have regulations on themselves as Avengers, and surprisingly, Captain America was like, no, we are supposed to be like in the mediaries, like we're the middle, and then we're like the last resort, but we're the ones that control when we take it upon ourselves to go and fight these battles. And the government, America government, basically kind of showing their arrogance at times, which it's not unheard of. Even in real life, you kind of see that. Assume that they should be able to control the Avengers, and when they happen, and then they try to blame them when we have casualties. But the reality is, when I look at this movie and some of the things that Stark says, I always found it interesting because, yeah, there were deaths, but some of the Avengers lost their lives. And, if you don't step in, more lives are lost. So what is the end game there with that? Like, if you don't do anything, the planet could be consumed and destroyed. So, I mean, any war of any kind is going to have casualties, and sometimes it's, innocence. But you're not, like, there's no way to really decide who lives and who dies. It's how it plays out. And I think that's a lesson that Tony ends up learning towards the end of his time. But yeah, I always loved this film. I love the concept behind it. A lot of great acting in it. And so here is the trailer for Captain America: Civil War.
Buck, do you remember me?
Your mom's name was Sarah. You used to wear newspapers in your shoes.
You're a wanted man.
I don't do that anymore.
Well, the people who think you did are coming right now. And they're not planning on taking you alive.
Captain, while a great many people see you as a hero, there are some who'd prefer the word vigilante. You've operated with unlimited power and no supervision. That's something the world can no longer tolerate.
I know how much Bucky means to you. Stay out of this one. Please. You'll only make this worse.
You saying you'll arrest me?
There will be consequences.
Captain, you seem a little defensive. Well, it's been a long day. If we can't accept limitations, we're no better than the bad guys.
That's not the way I see it.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
I just want to make sure we consider all our options. Because people that shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me, too.
You know what's about to happen. Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
What do we do?
We fight.
Sorry, Tony. You know I wouldn't do this if I had any other choice. But he's my friend. So was I.
There you go. Yeah, so great film, even all the way to the end, as most are generally, at least in my list. But yeah, so that's a really great film. I love, like, again, the backstory of how that became and why, which then leads us to the number one film that my favorite of all the Marvel films. And it tends to be a favorite through a lot of Marvel fans right now, at least in terms of the ones that are still paying attention to this, the film, universe and whatnot. It also introduced me to what would become my favorite character of the Marvel series. Usually I would say Thor or Hulk or even Black Panther, but in this case, I'm actually a big fan of Winter Soldier, which was introduced with Captain America 2. And I loved the twist. I went into it with no like idea who the Winter Soldier even was. Again, great acting. Robert Redford is amazing in this as a villain. And then, of course, just overall, just really a lot of fun film. It introduces you to a lot of other characters again. And Winter Soldier was one of them. And so when we find out that Winter Soldier is actually Bucky, and that's an old friend of, Captain America, Steve Rogers. So very interesting plot device. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And then I thought to myself when I first watched this, is like, obviously, if Rogers can get through to his friend, Winter Soldier could become a hero of sorts. And in some ways, Winter Soldier does become sort of like a hero / anti-hero because he's still dealing with the programming from the guys that basically took him and the Nazis and brainwashed him and everything else into an assassin. I won't go away with like how it ties into Civil War, but the reality is that you probably figure it out, or if you're a comic book nerd, you already know how that plays a factor. But this film is really well made. It talks again about the government overreach and what's in the corruption that could happen, which is another great thing about this film. So let's check out the trailer for my number one Marvel film is Captain America Winter Soldier.
Coming up on the drop zone, Cap.
You do anything fun Saturday night?
Well, all the guys in my barbershop quartet are dead, so... No, not really.
If you ask Kristen out from statistics, she'd probably say yes.
That's why I don't ask.
Too shy or too scared?
Too busy! Was he wearing a parachute?
No. No, he wasn't. I joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people.
Captain, to build a better world sometimes means tearing the old one down. And that makes enemies.
Are you ready for the world to see you as you really are? Look out the window. You know how the game works. Disorder, war. All it takes is one step.
We're gonna neutralize a lot of threats before they even happen.
Thought the punishment usually came after the crime.
S.H.I.E.L.D. takes the world as it is, not as we'd like it to be.
This isn't freedom. This is fear.
You need to keep both eyes open.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Your work has been a gift to mankind. You've shaped the century. I need you to do it one more time.
Gear up. It's time.
Damn right. So there you have it. My top 10 Marvel films. Love them all. Some of the other ones out there, like I said, some of the runners up, the Black Panther films are really great. The first Captain America is really good. I do like, contrary to some people, I do like the Multiverse of Madness from Doctor Strange. I actually like that more than the first Doctor Strange film. Was it Shang-Li was okay. Trying to think of any other ones that I thought were decent enough. Black Widow was okay, but not like I really like one thing I really liked about, at least with the Black Widow stuff, is that Yelena, her sister, played by Florence Pugh, is actually a really good character, which she also appears in Thunderbolts and as well as her father, I think, in that one as well. But like when you see Yelena in the Hawk series, she's amazing. Like just it's fucking amazing. And I actually enjoyed the Hawk series, but you know, they don't have a particular film based on Hawk or anything like that. I know that Haley Steinfeld, who plays like the apprentice to Hawk, who ends up becoming his replacement. Maybe she's going to have a movie. I don't know, but she may end up showing up somewhere. I don't know. But either way, she did a pretty good job too. So like, I like that series, but they don't have an actual movie on that. I mean, I could probably come back later and try to rank my favorite Marvel series, but I don't know if there's enough of them out there to make a top 10 list. It'd be pretty difficult at this point. I might get maybe 6 or 7 at the most, but outside of that, I'm not sure. I'd have to kind of go back and reevaluate that. But either way, let me know what you think. Hit the like and subscribe to the Meltdown Radio podcast if you enjoy the content. And again, let me know what your lists are, what you agree with or disagree with in mine. And yeah, hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you later. Take care of yourselves.
You see me before you die.